Hi, I'm Milton Rendell. Welcome to Real News Friday. Look, another interesting week. Sales down 18%, down to 913, although we know the figures have been fairly high, so around the 900 mark is still fairly high. Stock levels 7,971, so it's really pretty similar to what it was about a year ago. So which is an interesting thing. Down about 2% on where we were probably a month ago, and probably pretty similar to where we were previously. In terms of rentals, number of properties leased last week was 501, which was down about 28%, which is quite a large drop. But you will get movements like that in the marketplace. Number of rentals available in the marketplace, 2,324. That's up 7% of the previous week, up 1% of 4 weeks ago, but still 15% lower than 12 months ago. So we still have a very similar market to what we were 12 months ago, and that seems to be our steadying part. Now, interesting, there's some figures and some statistics released through the Real Estate Institute of West Australia talking about affordability of housing. Now, West Australia is the most affordable state in Australia, and how has that worked out? They said, we don't, everyone's going, oh, rubbish, it can't be that affordable, whatever. On average, the average household spends 26.2% of their monthly income on home repayments or cost of housing. So in terms of that, we are the cheapest in Australia, as in cheapest state in Australia. There are obviously territories in Australia which are cheaper, but we have been acknowledged as the lowest. So for those who are out there saying that we're worse than Sydney, we're not. Sydney's obviously a lot worse than we are, and so are the other states. But that was an interesting bit of surprise. The figure 26.2% is an interesting one. In other words, almost for every $4 you earn $1. So that's probably not as bad as I thought it would be. I would have thought it was slightly higher than that. Most others probably would feel the same, but I think that's not a bad figure. Now, there is talk of interest rates going up. Same discussion as last week. Obviously, we've got a war. We've got floods and etc. on the east coast. We've still got some staff shortages. The unemployment rate for Australia 4%. That's the lowest it's been for a decade. So obviously we're near full employment. So people are earning, getting work. Interest transition. Talking to people here in West Australia, which you're probably noticing yourself. Hospitality industry is obviously been bashed to hell and back. So I think we're seeing a shift in the minds of people, because there's a lot of people out there who have like 2-3 jobs, 2 days here, 1 day here. That sort of employment doesn't enable you to borrow money, to buy houses, etc. And I think there's a lot of people switching back to full-time employment, which we're starting and talking to others seem to be seeing that people are returning more to full-time or traditional employment rather than a bit here and a bit there, and I think that's a good thing. Mining industry is still going on pretty well, as we all know, but from a real estate point of view, inquiries still up, rental inquiries still at a steady pace. Talking to the other agents, it still seems to be fairly full on. Talking to our guys in the hills, inquiry for rentals is still extremely strong. Sales, like a lot of areas now, we're starting to see some slowing in certain pockets, and the main reason for that is lack of stock. How long that continues, nobody seems to know. We will see. I think if we see an adjustment in interest rates, we may see an increase in stock thereafter. That's generally how it works. If you're watching the US news, they're still talking about interest rates on the move. Some are forecasting as many as 7 between now and the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be that many. I think I've said it before. I think it'll probably be about 3. We'll probably follow suit. We tend to follow after the Americans, not at the same time. But I still think our economy will still be pretty balanced. Cost of living, that is a new subject. The big forecast, if you saw the other day, a cup of coffee in Perth, I reckon it's going to end up costing $7. Now, by the way, we were the most expensive cups of coffee in Australia probably about 10 years ago, so why not be again? We'll see what happens. Anyway, in the meantime, if you've got any questions real estate, please give our group a call. Certainly for those people who are thinking about selling, this is a great time to be doing so and considering. We're more than happy to come around and have a quick chat about what's going on in the marketplace and certainly give you a guide. And for those who have got investment properties, they're looking for some additional assistance, And if you're looking for a new agency, our group, we're always very, very happy to speak to and help you. Anyway, all the best. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.